That's all she wrote. Don't you see? We got to know you. Like fuck. We love you. You can't get. I'll the day is gone. You if you think it's coming back, all right. If you think I take you back, I won't. Hey. So, I need it once, 10, 12, that is gone, yes, I need a damn, you in the arms of summer so land, you never tried to see my life, I will never see my now. Someone else is with me. This thing on my collar was from you. This rhythm song takes me slow. All the seconds have gone home. Don't you believe I'm guilty? You hear the jury, I'm innocent. Thank you. Oh, there are people out there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Play another one. Play another one? Yeah. Okay. All right, build and roll. Here we go. Ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick and Front, now with another hand for them. Great stuff.
Now we're going to talk a little about what we really got to get in touch with our creative side. We learned how to edit videos, we learned how to make videos, and we learned what it takes to be in television.
Also, the main focus of this broadcast tonight is a glimpse into the future. What an ideal future would look like in 20 years if everything worked out. We posed this question to Beloit College students, and let's find out what their answers are. How can they?
No, we're not going to get into videos. So get the band thing again.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Nick and Friends, once again, here we go.
Chris coming up here. The critical part of Nick and Friends is Professor Chris Fink from Beloit College. And he does some readings and 90-minute essays on the radio. We're going to have to do one of those right now, then we'll play another song right after that. Professor's Almanac.
Hey folks, here's a 90-second story. It's about this time of year when ice is forming on the river. It's not quite safe. You can't help yourself. It's called In an Emergency. Sometimes in an emergency, you have a moment to wonder, is this an emergency? Yes, you fool. Like this morning as I climbed toward a frozen island on the Rock River, accompanied by the black dog, Shady. We've had a flash freeze. It's 6 below. The shorelines are frozen good, but out toward the middle, geese line the edge of the open water, watching ice floes ride the current. In a couple of days, temps will rise, and this frozen tableau will melt away. That's why we're here now, seizing this rare moment. To get to the island, you have to scramble over frozen logs and thin ice. Something about islands demands you get to them, even in winter. She is way more nimble than me, which is why I'm surprised she's the one who falls and breaks through the ice. The black dog panics, and instead of jumping back on the log, she bounds the other way, letting ice go deep water. Shady, I yell. She turns back. It's too late. She crashes toward another log, but now she's zapped from the cold. She can't pull herself up. She just hangs there, submerged in the icy current. All this occurs in moments, and I wonder, is this an emergency? No amount of controlling draws shady from the water. We're only a mile from home, I think, as I plow through the ice toward her. But it will be a cold one. I'm able to crawl to my frozen dog, get a glove on her nape, and yank. Poor girl. I carry her to high ground. The geese in the river look coolly on. Maybe they prefer tragedy. The black dog views me as a savior and not like the fool who drug her here.
Well, thanks for Mox and his class. Putting together this great broadcast and inviting us to be a part of it. We're honored.
And everybody.
One of our main events of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, you guys, is our main focus of our broadcast class here today is figuring out what an ideal would look like in 20 years if everything worked as it should. So our broadcast firms for our class, we went out to Beloit College and we interviewed Beloit College students about what answers they may have to this question.
We have the videos right here. Take a look.
Okay, did it actually cut to the videos now?
Yeah, it's on you. She's gonna come in to you.
You guys relax. It's my thing.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think you put it in this way? Or I guess
It's like short.
Yeah, like, you know, I mean,
You're up front though.
Hey, minutes will go right back to my TV. In the meantime,
you can't hear it now?
No, all the audio from over here. The red side, these chips. Thank you guys. Amazing. What? Oh yeah. So really good. Sorry.
I don't know why we're still wearing these mics because
That makes me laugh.
yeah.
Oh wait, why are you so scared?
Yeah. No, I
Are we gonna keep this playing without sound? Why don't we cut back and say like,
Yeah.
oh, we're having technical difficulties right now, but friends is so great. We're just gonna go back to that.
I just don't. I just everything is going like everything went wrong at the very last minute, and I had no. Do we like? Nope, not right now.
we need to switch the sound.
Yeah.
Why don't we just cut back to this and be like, we're having sound technical difficulties? Yeah. Where's Moth?
Yeah, honestly. I don't know.
I'm getting Taco Bell after this. Just thought I'd share.
If people are actually watching this,
Uh-huh.
But like if someone
Oh, okay. So we're just gonna be going. Okay. What and what should we be saying?
What specifically? Like,
Okay. So, but so
we
Jasmine's
don't
just
need
doing
to
that.
work for a little bit.
Okay. Well, we can count right to that. Okay.
Hold on to the now.
we're going to be doing a band interview of this from making friends, just kind of see how they start off. And let's just start it.
Sure, well, we met at Beloit College, we were all class of 23, except he was class of 21 back then. No, so we all, have been so we saw an opportunity to come together as fun, and really that whole thing. So we only play original songs. So that's good. We write songs together. Everything here tonight so far.
My Taco Bell conversation.
Actually, all that originally, we kind of came to this group with a little cache of songs that are you're gonna hear a song in a little while, Dr. Otherwise, someone just brings a song and says, here's how it goes. And then it's yours to yell.
His personality, song-wise. Nick does a lot of the kind of Americana sort of stuff. Alice does the ballads. He's a new songwriter of the group, and does well, you're just kind of rock. Sometimes a little funky stuff in there, but kind of all-American pop rock. That's something I do pretty good stack. Funky stuff.
And Greg has a great nomination. So he just has the gravitas. But I would say too, other than Allison, we kind of text each other and say, oh, we got this song stuck in my head. So I think it just kind of comes and goes. I'll react to the crowd. Thank you very much. Let me keep this going. Anyone else?
Allison, do you want to defend
I want to stay in the corner, obviously. That's what it is.
Well, thank you guys so much. We're gonna go back to our
Whole time? No, her mic went out the entire time. Yeah. So we did none of that. I don't know what's happening. I'm not the mic person. I was just told, and I was like, okay, I'll tell everyone. They heard me talk about Taco Bell. Did you really hear me talk about Taco Bell? How loud was I said some stuff and I'm really worried. I know, I'm very
You can try that. Yeah. Thank you to Nick and friends once again. And for our next segment on our live broadcast, it taps into the paranormal side of the Beloit community with a spooky story from Beloit's past.
Yeah, we actually got in touch with one of our own professors at Beloit College, Charles Westerberg, and we interviewed him on a possible ghost story that he experienced at the college.
Let's take a look.
Where our story starts, we're on the 3rd floor of Campbell, and this is where Teddy was said to be the night before he died, looking for slides for his class for the next day. You know, Professor Charles Westerberg says that he's encountered Teddy. We'll get to that later. So now we go down to the 2nd floor where Teddy's body was discovered. One of the options was actually that he took a tumble down these stairs. He was found somewhere around this floor. His body was bruised, battered, bloody, and nude. This led many people to believe that there was foul play at hand, but it was ruled as an accidental death. The body was found somewhere on the 2nd floor, and it was barely alive. It was rushed to the hospital, where later he died. Later that day, there was a class that was supposed to be taking place in Campbell Hall, and Professor Mary Gasway, a French teacher, ordered for the scene to be cleaned immediately. This left little to no forensic evidence for police to investigate. After his death, theories started to form, and so did ghost stories. In the coming years up until present time, they have been circulating all throughout Beloit College and today we brought in a professor of the college today, Charles Westerberg, and we're going to be interviewing him about his own experiences with Teddy. Hey. Thank you for coming in. My name's Kaylee Marino. You are?
I'm Charles Westerberg.
Perfect. So I just wanted to give some background just off the bat. Who are you? What's your relationship to Beloit?
Well, my name is Charles Westerberg, and I am a graduate of Beloit College, 1994. And I've also been teaching sociology at Beloit since 2000, so coming up on a quarter century.
Great. Well, thanks again for coming in.
Sure.
I firstly wanted to talk about Teddy Wright's mysterious death and the things kind of about that.
Mhm.
What do you think happened to Teddy?
Well, I would really like to believe he had some kind of a seizure or something and passed away doing what he loved to do, which was get ready for class.
For sure. And there are some that believe that Teddy was murdered. Do you have any thoughts on this theory or these theories?
I'm familiar with these theories, and I like to believe that it isn't true. I have no reason to believe that he was murdered, but I do have a sort of cutting edge somewhere inside that makes me think about it from time to time. I don't really know.
I mean, it happened so long ago. Who can really tell?
Yep.
Do you think it was at all suspicious that the college did not do so much like extensive research into what happened to him after his passing?
I do think it's suspicious, although they would likely know whether the doors were forced or anything like that. So I have to believe that they found him. They diagnosed the situation as being consistent with some kind of a heart attack or stroke, epilepsy, and just one about cleaning up. But I do have to admit that I find it suspicious.
For sure. There's been many ghost stories surrounding Teddy and his mysterious death. I'm sure you're aware of many, just around Beloit College and the Beloit community in general. So we actually brought you in here today because you have had an encounter with the spirit of Teddy. Is that true?
Yeah, I've had multiple encounters.
Multiple. Interesting. Could you elaborate on those experiences at all?
Yeah, well, they date back quite a long way, actually, to when I was a student. I took this economics class because I had taken a previous one and it went pretty well. And so I wanted to keep going. And I had a great deal of respect for Professor Kreider. He had an assignment that was due one evening by 10 o'clock at night. I printed out my paper on my word processor. Do you know what a word processor is?
I can't say I do.
It predates computers as we know them. At any rate, I printed out my paper on my word processor and I went into Campbell Hall to deliver my paper. It's probably 9:30 at night. And I was very nervous because I wanted to do well on the paper. I wasn't sure if I was going to do well. And I stopped, and I was going to put my paper under the door. And I felt something strange. It was almost as if the whole building sort of shook, but I knew that wasn't really possible. So I kind of stopped and collected myself. I thought this must be nerves. And I got this feeling that was, kind of assuring me that I was right to be concerned. It's good to be nervous, but it's going to be okay. If you stay true to yourself, everything's going to work out okay. And it's literally, it felt like something like a wave coming over. So I went ahead and I put my paper into the door and I left. And I thought to myself, that was weird. I mean, I had never experienced anything like that before. And after a while, I started thinking about what could this possibly had to do with. And it sort of occurred to me that Professor Kreider was in this room where Teddy was found all those years ago. And I started, putting it together for myself that there was something strange or paranormal, if you will, kind of happening. And so then I kind of went on with my life. I didn't have any further experiences. And then early on in my time as a faculty member, and of course my office at this point is now in Campbell Hall, I had this period of time where I was kind of concerned about how my class the next day was going to go. And I wasn't sure if I quite had all the concepts down the way I wanted to. And I remember being at my desk and I put my head into my hand and I had this feeling. And I'm like, wait a minute, I recognize this feeling. But this time I kind of was prepared because I was like, I wonder if this has something to do with Professor Wright. It was again, the message was eerily similar, which was this is hard and it should be hard. But if you believe in yourself and do the best that you can, it's going to turn out okay. This has happened a handful, over the, like I say, I'm coming up on 25 years of teaching, and I would say 5 or 6 times when there's something troubling me about maybe a relationship with a student or colleague, or I'm kind of questioning whether I've done the right thing. It's like a tremor, and I can feel a presence. And now I totally associate it with Professor Wright. I mean, this sounds corny, but I feel like he's a friend to me. And when I need him, he kind of comes into the picture. It's, uh, it's really meaningful to me at this point.
So you think it's like a very much he's trying to help you out thing? Do you think there's a reason besides just your connection to the school that he would choose to like present himself to you in this way?
Um, that's a good question. I mean, there could be a matter of proximity. I mean, the sociology department was in Campbell Hall when I was a student, and so was the economics department. So I spent a lot of time in Campbell Hall. So maybe we made some kind of a connection. I don't really know. I mean, I'd like to believe, I guess. Maybe he saw something in me, when I was a student. I don't know. But I have thought about it a lot, and I think it just makes my feelings about the matter even stronger.
Thank you for like sharing your story with us.
Sure.
Like, it's super interesting to us. I know you've been doing a lot of work on it. So just thank you for coming out here doing this with us. That's pretty much all we have, unless you would like to share anything more.
No, I'm just happy to help.
Thank you so much for
Okay.
coming. That's a wrap.
You just heard a fascinating story from Beloit's past, but now let's take a moment to take a look into Beloit's future.
We have some more interviews coming your way, and let's have them. Let's cut to them.
All right.
Yeah.
It didn't just cut to them.
Oh.
Did we cut?
Still here.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That was a scary story.
I know, it was pretty scary, right?
I hope we can play another song after that.
I know, you might be too. I would understand, though. We would understand and shut everything down.
For a better future, I would have to say like walkable cities, not gentrified, more peaceful, where no wars, no food deserts, clean cities, people are more generous, people want to like give more than receive, more people of like minorities or women in office, less advertisements, and also better environment, trees, and more community-based spaces. Our perception now is against people having like a second area to hang out with that you don't pay for. So it's like more public parks, hangout areas, more greener world, maybe a lack of homeless population, maybe a lack of architecture. The future should look like.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for tuning in here tonight. And to close out this wonderful evening, we'll just have our house band, Nick and Friends, play another song for you. Oh, God.
All right, here we go. Well, thanks very much, and we'll just do one more song. And
You know, leaving shore, grab your sails and lose your shoes. There's no maiden at the end of the floor, rolling on a rocket cruise. Gonna leave our shore sitting on the dock, ain't no room on deck for me. They come catching another red eye, rolling on a
Sliding in the back of me, yeah. One heaven, goes on tsunami, yeah, I can hear the captain.